Fabian Edwards just beat Gegard Mousasi in a very hard-fought decision in, you know what, a subpar Bellator card, but I really enjoyed the main event. We're going to talk about my reaction to just the main event today in just a second. Before we get into the video, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Edwards. So, I don't watch a ton of Bellator. Well, nowadays I do, but I would say it's only been a couple of years since I watch Bellator regularly, and I really enjoy Bellator shows. However, typically, if I have time after an event, I would talk about the entire card, but there's not really too much to talk about the entire card. The card was quite boring. My point in mentioning that I don't watch Bellator that much is I'm not nearly as familiar with the fighters as I am with the UFC or One Championship, so I'm just there to really enjoy the event. However, I am and always have been a big fan of Gegard Mousasi. He's one of the first fighters that I really got into as a fan so many years ago. He's been fighting for even way before I started becoming a fan. He's still going strong. My point, Edwards, I was not familiar with. I don't even know if I've seen him fight. I'm sure I've seen him at some point, but it's just, I didn't remember, and I found out that he was Leon Edwards' brother, so I was like, oh my god, well, he must be pretty good, you know what I mean? Plus, it's a number 2 versus the number 1 guy. Werner's going to fight Johnny Eblen, which is going to be very, very good so far. So, for the fight, I had it I gave the first round a toss-up, and then I had it a 2-2. So I thought, I disagree with the 49-46 decision by all 3 judges. However, I'm not upset at all that Edwards did get the decision, because again, I had it 2-2 with the 2 to 5 rounds, and then number 1 was just a toss-up. I don't know who won that round. But like I said, it was a very, very hard-fought decision. Gegard Mousasi was slipping around the cage a little bit. He seemed like it's time for him to hang up the gloves. Like, of course, he can still hang with the divisions, but Gegard Mousasi was a guy who, if he continued his journey in the UFC, he would have beat Israel Adesanya. Now, I believe he's 36 years old. He has so many miles on him, and it's clear at that in these last 2 fights of Mousasi, he has lost a step. Again, like, he's had so many miles on his body, he's getting up there in age, and we already know that he's just fighting out his contract and he's going to hang up the gloves. So, how hungry can he really be? I think it is a good time for Gegard Mousasi to hang up the gloves, assuming that he is financially capable of doing so, which I would imagine so, because I've been following a little bit. It seems like the dude's okay, but nothing. I'm taking absolutely nothing away from Edwards here, but it seems like Gegard Mousasi was just like a little bit of a step behind in some of these situations. You saw him fading into the later rounds just a little bit, but man, every time that Edwards was getting the upper hand, like on a takedown or something, Mousasi was like just almost getting there. You know what I mean? In the very beginning, when the first grappling exchanges first came, Mousasi was hitting him all over the place, doing great, but as those rounds went later on, Edwards did start to take over a little bit. So, again, very, very good performance by Edwards. I'm excited to watch him fight Johnny Eblen for the middleweight title, and that dude, I haven't seen too much of him, but man, that dude is an animal. I have a feeling that Edwards is going to lose a very dominant decision in that sense, because Eblen, from what I've seen so far, looks absolutely amazing, and he's a bigger guy. They had them do a little bit of standoff, so that's going to be a really cool main event, hopefully a main event that's going to take place, and it's going to be cool to see, like, if Edwards can pull it off, then you could have the 2 brothers, like, champion in the UFC, champion in the Bellator. I think that'd be really cool to see. However, I don't think he's going to get it done, but again, I'm not too familiar with the fighters. I need to look a little bit more into that. But guys, let me know what you thought about this. What do you think about the future of Gegard Mousasi? I'm a little bit disappointed in Mousasi, but there's nothing that you can do. You know what I mean? He fought, he never gave up, had a very, very hard-fought win, and honestly, I'm proud of him, but I mean, I'm not disappointed in Gegard Mousasi. I'm disappointed that he didn't win, because he is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Guys, let me know what you thought about the Bellator event down below, and thank you so much for watching. On the screen right now, you will have 2 fantastic Clenbat videos for you to check out. Check them out. They're great. I'll see you there. Take care.